My #1 bucket list of the whole time I've been here has been to get inside your garage.
Well, it's not like I didn't invite you. I invited you dozens of times.
You did.
So it's not like
You did.
like, oh, no, I don't want to. Why don't you come? Oh, yeah, okay. But, well, thanks for coming.
I got to say, you walk in. We're going to go on a little walk and talk with your cars later.
Right.
But just to walk into this is a quite extraordinary thing. I have never seen a car collection like this anywhere in the world.
Well, there's plenty of car collections like that. I just buy what I like. It's the More Money Than Brains Club. There's really no theme here. It's not Italian cars or the Renaissance. It's none of that. It's just things I like, cars of historical or technical interest. And, it's fun. When you work with your hands, it appreciates how easy it is to make money just talking, because you take a transmission, like, some guy made $80 for this. And then you go on and say, oh. Plus, I think it makes you appreciate show business a little bit.
Jay Leno is the Tonight Show king who ruled late night in America for over 20 years, reaching the blue-collar parts of middle America his competitors couldn't. Leno's rivalry with the great David Letterman is the stuff of showbiz legend, as is the story of how he came out of retirement to reclaim his show from his successor Conan O'Brien. Leno's interviewed the biggest names of our times, giving him a unique perspective on what makes the great country of America tick, including what unites it and what divides it. When you look at the state of politics in America, particularly fueled perhaps by social media, which tends to inflame the extremities on both sides, do you worry about that? Do you worry that America's becoming ever more polarized politically?
Being an optimist, the biggest fear for years was nobody's voting, and nobody voted. This last election, whether you're for Trump or for Biden, huge. Everybody voted, not everybody, but the highest. No one ever predicted that. They thought it would just continue to go down, and people under 30 would never vote, and well, no, that all changed. So it got people interested. So I think that's one of the benefits of it.
What do you make of the Donald Trump phenomenon? There's no other way to describe it. I mean, in 1999, he appeared on the Tonight Show with you, and was when he first said he was going to run for president. And you, like everybody else, laughed at this concept, and you quizzed him about his temperament. And Trump said this to you: I believe when someone wants to get you, you want to get them, and I believe that. And you said, but being president, you'd have to be more diplomatic. And he replied, yes, but I believe in retribution. Well, no one's laughing now because he became president and may well be again. And he does exact retribution. He's done exactly what he said he would do. What do you think of this phenomenon of Trump, the politician?
Well, I'm not a fan. I think he has, like this thing where they want to restrict him on the ballot. I'm against that because that could turn against you. You could use it for whatever.
It's anti-democratic.
Right, it's anti-democratic. I mean, if the people want that person as president, that's fine. I mean, I'm not a fan. It has nothing to do with politics. I just don't think morally, I think we could do a little bit better. All these indictments, whatever it might be. I just stopped doing politics and my act altogether because, when I did the Tonight Show, the idea was you made fun of both sides equally, and you get those, Miss Leno, you and your Republican friends, well, Miss Leno, you and your Democratic buddies, and they'd both be angry. And I go, oh, that's good. They both think you're supporting the other guy. Now you've got to take a side, and people are angry if you don't. And I find what I would start to tell a political joke. Well, they want to know the punchline before. Is this pro or against it? So I just stopped doing it because I just want people to come and laugh and have a good time.
I mean, I've known Trump a long time. I did the Celebrity Apprentice with him. I saw him a lot every night across the boardroom, and I saw actually a different character there than the one I see as a politician. But he was always bombastic, larger than life, always a big exaggerator, narcissist, and so on.
Which is fine if you're not president.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that when you were interviewing him as Donald Trump, the real estate magnate come television celebrity, what did you think of him then?
Well, I liked him. He was fine. He was an interesting character. He was a television character, exactly what you wanted for TV. Somebody that kind of irritates some people, amuses others, and that's fine. I liked him then. I actually did a couple of jobs for him as that. I just, this January 6th business and all this other thing, gets a little much.
Well, I mean, I would imagine most Americans who don't have a kind of really visceral horse in the ring in this and look at it objectively, the idea of any president from either side simply refusing to accept the result of an election in America.
Yes.
That's a pretty slippery path.
Yeah, that's a very slippery path. It's, to me, it's like, I like my banker to be about finances. I don't want a funny banker. I don't want a banker who's a flashy dresser with Italian sports cars, and I like him to be a banker. And that's what I want in a president. I mean, to me, I see nothing about the economy or about what's going to be done for the country. It's just getting back at Hillary or whatever. It just seems to be things you shouldn't be worrying about as president.
When you look at Joe Biden, he's 10 years older than you.
Yeah.
I mean, most people, including the majority of Democrats, think he's too old to run again. Do you think he should maybe take one for the team and step aside?
Well, I think he's fine to be president. I think it's harder to run for president than it is to be president. You got to go to the fair and eat the hot dog and, you know, do the all of that, which, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's, look, I'm a fan. I like the man. I've known him for years. I had him on when he ran in '88, you know, so to me, no, I like him. I think he's a good guy. And, you know, the economy's doing pretty good.
Right.
I mean, that's something Trump said. He hopes the economy tanks.
I saw that.
Well, I go, really? Do you really hope? That's when I knew we were in trouble, when I would talk, I'd meet people on the street. I'd rather have Putin than Biden. Really? Really?
Do you worry about what may happen in this country in terms of the division if Trump was to get reelected?
Well, you get the government you deserve. I mean, that's pretty much the way the world works, or at least the way America works. If that's what people choose, well, that's what's going to happen, isn't it?
What does it mean to you to be an American?
Well, it makes me laugh because it's the only place, like I said, I don't want an experienced politician in the White House.
Do you feel America's still the land of opportunity?
Yes, you know,
it's still got that
if you want to appreciate America, this is why I love immigrants, you know.
Well, America is the ultimate melting pot.
It really does seem to be. I don't see people, oh, we're trying to get into Moscow. I can't, nobody wants to go there.
Would it have been a better country if the British royals had continued to oversee things?
Oh, that would have been horrible, wouldn't it? Terrible thing that would have been. No, horrible.
You don't sometimes think wistfully you could have been, you know, Prince Jay and...
Yeah, that's what I want to be, Prince Jay. Well, my mother's from Scotland. My mother's from Greece.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, the similarity you have with Donald Trump is you both had mothers who were Scottish. You came here, and both your fathers were salesmen in New York.
Right, yeah, that's true.
Is that where the parallels stop?
I think that's where the parallels stop. Again, I just don't agree with some of the moral decisions and other things, you know.
Do you think one of the secrets of his success, because you can't deny the success or the popularity, is that he does have...
Well, is it success or popularity? I mean, what are you talking about?
Well, success in the sense he won the presidency with zero experience.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty extraordinary.
Right.
In popularity, he got 10 million votes more last election than the first time round, which is pretty staggering, given how divisive his tenure was. And he may well win again. The polls suggest he's got a very good chance.
I think you have to have the ability to... I don't dislike people who like Trump. I mean, I meet people all the time, you know, guys that are mechanics or like blue-collar guys that like Trump for that reason. And I like them. I like them. I don't... You know, we live in an era now, if you have an electric car, you're a vegan, and you voted for Biden, and you want Governor Newsom to be president of the United States. If you have a gas car, you like guns, you like... You know, the idea that you've got to be one or the other. To me, I like to have friends on both sides.
Is that one of the reasons that there's a sense that far less is being actually done in the Senate, in Congress, because it's so visceral now, the tribalism on both sides?
Yeah, I think so.
Very difficult for politicians to do deals with the other side.
I think so, and if you do, you're a traitor, or whatever it might be. You know, I mean, you know, I like Mitt Romney. I think he's a terrific guy. Great human being. The fact that he gets ostracized from the Republican Party because of his views
is nuts.
But I think he's correct. I mean, I don't want a president who's been impeached 2 times. It just seems. I think we can do better.
Do you think anyone should be allowed to run for president on any side if you're facing 100 criminal charges?
Well, I have the right not to vote for them.
Right.
So I would, here's my vote. If you choose to have someone who's a criminal as president, okay. I have to accept your choice.
What do you make of the woke culture, particularly where it pertains to cancel culture?
I always meet comedians that say, you know, you can't even compliment women anymore. Well, yeah, you can't go, hey, nice boobs, okay? If you were to say, oh, that's a really pretty dress. Oh, I don't want any women to go, oh. They would
Actually,
go,
there are some that would now take offense.
No, but see, but I think
say you're objectifying them.
What I'm saying is, I said, oh, that's a nice outfit. Oh, well, thank you. I mean, I'm using normal people, common sense, not one extreme or the other. Most people know when you've crossed the line.
Did the Me Too campaign go too far? Is the pendulum coming back?
Well, no, I think any pendulum swings to the far left or the far right before it comes back to center. It's just something that happens. I mean, yeah, no, I think it is what it is. And I think you're seeing it come back to center now. Okay. I think there's a lot of anger, a lot of animosity. Women over the years have built up, you know, if you were someone this happened to you in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, you're going to be pretty mad in the 90s or the 2000s. So I get it. I understand it. And is it unfair that it swings that way? Yeah, but it's unfair it went the other way too. So
you interviewed a lot of people who were Me Too'd. Was that a surprise to you when you found out what some of them were actually like?
Well, for a lot of them, you kind of knew they were like that. I mean, there's not a lot of people where I go, oh, really? I'm surprised that, you know. It's Harvey Weinstein. I mean, he was always a bully. He was a bully. He would call me and say, hey, I need so-and-so on the show tomorrow night. And I go, I can't, I got so. Well, kick them off. I go, Harry, I'm not going to do it. And he would yell at me and intimidate, well, you're not going to get any, you know, he would just be that way all the, and he was a bully. So when he got caught, I was not the least bit surprised.